Good day to one and all. This is Dr. Sivaraman of iknowindices.com. So I'll be giving the Asian Session Live Market Analysis webinar on 31st of December. That is the last day of this particular year. And I'll be giving the forecast or the expected market moves for this particular week. And this is a week wherein you find the year gets over on Monday the 31st. And then you come across the new year starts from that of Tuesday until 4th. You come across in this week the new year beginning time. So the year ending and the new year starting. Normally you come across the month end and the new month start. The market is expected to be very volatile. But this time the year end, so the players will be trying to hit the stops on either side. In the case of the derivative market, so we could anticipate very big volatile moves happening in the market. So the yearly trend reversal moves will be in the peak during this particular week. So one has to be cautious while taking the trading decisions, and we cannot call the market as a bullish or bearish, and they will try to make whipsaw moves during this particular time. So keep in mind that quick moves are false moves in the market, and you would have seen suddenly just about 15 minutes back they made a quick drop below that of the initial low in the case of euro and then started recovering. So this is only a small sample for that, and they are expected to make big and aggressive moves during this particular time frame. So if you have got lesser equity, then try to keep away from that of the market during this particular time frame and watch it. If you have got the hedging facility, then it will be nice. You can use the hedge to limit the risk and maximize the profit by booking profit on either way trades in the market. Now coming to that of the algorithm based forecast. Let me display the slide. So this for the period 31st December to 4th January, the derived forecast Monday today. Swing and rise moves during that of the Japanese session. So we could see the swings. Now they are done the swings and they are expected to quickly rise during that of the later part of mid session and also late Japanese session, followed by swing and rise during European and US session. So it is a month end time, so there is no question of week beginning false move. They are expected to make either way quick moves or the volatile moves in general. So you have to keep that in mind, and you can only do swing trade. When they quickly drop, buy. When they quickly rise, book profit and exit out of the position and look for another drop to buy back again. And that will be the ideal way of doing trades. And don't try to take the position and hold it and expect the market to move in your favor. They may make a move against you and you may not be able to withstand the pressure, and then subsequently they will make the move as per your expectations, but you may not be having the position to book profit. So that sort of scenario you could come across during this particular time frame. So the best thing is you wait for the market to make the big moves. When they quickly make a rise, you take a sell position once they stop cutting the new high for more than 30 minutes. And similarly, when they quickly make a drop, when they stop cutting the new low for more than 30 minutes, try to take a buy. Then you will be able to really book profit or keep stop at entry to start with, and then quickly book profit in a matter of about 1 and 2 hours. And especially you can focus on the session wise trades, then try to take the position during quick drop and book profit during that of the end of the session. Again the next session they are expected to make volatile moves. So that could be the advice based on this particular forecast for the time being. Then tomorrow 1st of January, the new year, so the month and the year beginning either way quick moves they are expected to make it. So on 31st they will try to make wild moves in order to hit the stops in order to earn money from that of the expiring options and futures. And on first, what they will do is, a lot of people try to carry over the position to that of the next period, or they try to take the next contract. So once the December contract gets over, the January contracts they take and February contracts they take, and they try to again make stop-ins for such switchover of the positions, and later on they try to make the moves according to the unfavorable positions of the traders. So this time they are expected to make very aggressive gaining moves in the case of Euro, GBP and USD Yen in coming days. So till mid-January you could see aggressive gaining moves in the market. So if you want, you can avoid doing sell and buy trade, wait for the quick drops and try to take the buy position and book profit, buy the position after the drop and book profit. That sort of trades you can do it if you want to really sustain in the market. If you try to do either way trades, then you need to have enormous equity to protect your positions. Otherwise they can make aggressive move and bring in margin call. Keep that in mind. Then on 2nd of January they are expected to make the swing and rise moves, and each session there could be a dip to start with and the rise during that of the European and US session. Then on 3rd of January, Thursday, you will find swing and rise moves, and everybody will be talking about non-farm payroll, how it's exactly it is going to be. It might be in line with that of the last month expectations and things like that. But when they get promising results on Friday, you will come across more risk appetite move on the upside in the case of Euro, GBP and USD Yen. And this time they will just weaken USD Yen in a very big way, or Yen in a big way. So USD Yen is expected to make an aggressive gain, and Euro and GBP are expected to also gain, and they can give two different stories, one for Euro and GBP, the another one for USD Yen. So ultimately when you see that they will be making the contrarian move of upward move in all the three pairs. And next week, 7th to 11th of December, you will come across the trending move on the upside, and you may come across that what positions you are trying to take it on Thursday and Friday, and that could be held because they may not make much of a weak beginning false move from that of next week, and they will be interested in gaining levels because they have accumulated long positions. So in order to book profit for 2 weeks quickly, they will make a rise, one-sided rise, how they had done it in the case of USD Yen. And USD Yen you come across a little more swings, and that sort of swings will also be not seen in coming days, and straight they will make one-sided rise, because only then anybody who has come for short selling will try to do the averaging of taking further shorts, and later on they try to gain more levels and induce them to do the short covering. So keep that in mind and accordingly take positions. And if you think that supports and the resistance the market has to respect, then you may find some disappointing actions happening in the market. So I have given you the derived forecast. The market is expected to make more aggressive gains on the upside in New Year, until end of January and first week of February the market is expected to make aggressive gains, and later on you will come across some corrections and then gains and things like that. And the coming year 2013, you will come across the traders trying to develop certain wisdom and try to do some sensible trades to start with, but the players are not going to leave them, and they are expected to make more one-sided moves like that of 2007-2008 and try to trap the traders. So this year you might find that January and February you are able to make some good profit, and afterwards they will try to make very aggressive move on the upside as well as the downside, and people may not be able to withstand such pressure. So if you have the hedging facility, then you will be able to sustain in the market. Otherwise, wait for such quick moves happening in the market on the downside or on the upside, and then try to take the positions, because you know that a lot of platforms now they are offering, even you simply open an account, they are willing to deposit on your behalf the money. So which clearly indicates that the traders are getting reduced in the market. And when the traders are reduced in number, then obviously whatever the moves the players do it, they may not be able to earn. So ultimately, in order to attract the traders, they will try to make quick moves, and these quick moves act as trigger for that of those who have become addicted to trading. After losing some money, they may think that okay, here afterwards I will not enter into the market, but when they see quick moves happening in 5-10 minutes, then they will be attracted. Why not I take a position and within 10-15 minutes close the position, or scalping. So they will enter into the market again by doing scalping. And later on, when they continue to take more positions and think that they can really follow the charts and do the trades and things like that, they will try to make one-sided move and trap them. So this is the way the new traders come, and the old traders go away from that of the market. And it is like a brook or the stream wherein you find the new events happen when the old events go away. So that sort of scenario you might come across in 2013. Initially it might appear that market is very promising, but later on you will find when the volume drastically reduced, the players are expected to make very aggressive moves from that of February. Then we will go in for the market reading. In this, we note down the initial lows and the highs around 3:30 GMT in 4 majors and 2 commodity pairs, and use them as a reference levels for the day to identify the type and sequence of market moves they do it. And the types of move I explained many times: stop and false move, extended move, and the intentional move. And during the trend reversal, they make extended stop ends. So extended stop end is a move they do just to drop about 150-200 pips, and in a matter of about 1 or 2 hours, or probably within a session or maximum 2 sessions, they try to reverse the market and start going up to the full spread. So you may come across that market is making a spread from the bottom to that of the top about 300, or from high to low about 300 to 400 pips spread. That sort of moves they are expected to make in coming days. So we need to identify the type of moves, and they are expected to make the extended downward stop and before making an aggressive gain on the upside. And those who have been following me many times would have noticed that how exactly they make an extended downward move before making a shift in trading zone. They already started accumulating in a big way the buy positions in Euro, GBP and USD Yen, and they are expected to make alternatively or in one currency just to create the sentiment extended stop and then continue gaining the level as a one-sided rise. So you would not have seen one-sided gaining moves in the case of Euro GBP, but this time you should be able to see that how they have done it in the case of USD Yen. They are expected to make USD Yen, you know that last week it was around 84, 83. Now previous week it was around 82, 83. So now they have come to 86. They are expected to go to 87, 88, up to 90 this time, or up to 89. So be careful with regard to yen. Avoid taking sell positions in the case of USD yen. Any quick drop like session start time, you can take a buy. Now with regard to the market reading, so I noted down the initial lows and the highs in all the 4 majors and 2 commodity pairs. So in the case of euro, 1.3204 was the initial low, and as I explained that they made a very quick downward move just about 20 minutes back, 20-25 minutes back, and now they gained it. They came down to 31.89 and started gaining. So whenever they make a quick downward stop and it shows very clearly they wanted to gain the levels, even though it shows negative net change, and they are expected to gain up to the high slowly. Afterwards, they are expected to make quick rises, and the high is intact, 1.3236. So in the case of euro, they have done the downward stop and they have come closer to that of the initial low, and soon they will go above this. Then in the case of GBP, 1.6152 is the low, 1.6175 is the high, and many times I explained that in one session they make the downward stop and in the case of euro, then another session they make the downward stop and in the case of GBP, and thereby they are able to handle the crosses effectively. So you have to keep that in mind and try to take position, buy position in the case of GBP when they are making a downward stop and in that. And in the case of USD Yen, 85.67 is the low and 86.02 was the initial high. They have gone up to 86.17 and then they are holding around 86.11.13. So it is more than 30 minutes they are holding above that of the initial high. So they intend to make an extended rise or an intentional rise during the day. So we have to see if they continue to cut the new high after 2 hours, that means they intend to make an intentional rise beyond that for 2 sessions and the start of the 3rd session. So whenever they are making a downward move, very quickly try to buy and avoid doing sell and buy trades in the case of yen and yen crosses. In the case of CHF, 0.9122 is the low and 0.9141 is the high. They have breached the high above that of 91.41. They have gone up to 11 pips, 91.52, and holding around 91.42. And you find that USD CHF is making 8 pips positive net change when compared to that of euro, which is making about 15 pips negative net change. So they are not making corresponding rise in the case of USD CHF, just to hold euro CHF at a lower level, and later on they are expected to make the contrarian move. At the moment you come across the pairs are making USD gaining move. Keep that in mind, because the numerator currencies are showing negative net change excepting Australian dollar, and the denominator currencies are showing positive net change excepting CAD. So the majors are showing USD gaining move and the commodity pairs are showing USD weakening move, which is a contrarian move in order to handle the crosses of the commodity pairs. Once they finish handling the crosses of the commodity pairs, they come to that of the majors again in a sequence. Then in the case of USD CAD, 99.44 is the low, 99.64 is the high. They are not breached the low or the high. And in the case of Australian dollar, 1.0368 is the low, 1.0409 is the high. They are holding at the middle level with a positive net change. So as I explained, that they are not expected to make very big moves in the case of the commodity pairs, but the numerators, they are expected to alternatively gain the levels in the case of numerator as well as the denominator. So as a result, the crosses of euro and yen, the crosses of GBP and CHF, they are all expected to gain the levels. Keep that in mind. Coming to that of the expected market moves for today, swing and rise moves are expected during that of the Japanese session, late Japanese session. You could come across, they go above that of the initial low and the initial high and then quickly gain the levels. And in the case of GBP, they may make a quick downward stop and start gaining the levels. And USD Yen is expected to gain more. So European session, you will come across swing and rise moves, and US session start, they will make a little bit of volatile moves, pretend as if the market is going to fall, but they are expected to gain the levels. So keep that in mind. They will pretend during the session start time as if the market is going to fall, but subsequently they are expected to gain the levels. So this you have to keep it in mind, and don't be moved with it of the quick moves happening in the market. The quick moves are false moves. Always keep it in mind. Then you will not change your mindset, or you will not change your sentiment, and thereby you will avoid doing the sell and buy trade as a bearish trade. So it is the last month of last day of the month as well as the year. More volatile moves are expected. Frequent contrarian moves are expected to be seen in order to handle the crosses. So you have to be very, very careful while trading in the case of the majors and the commodity pairs. Let me just take up the questions which are asked here. And last time I saw some questions in question answers also. I don't find the window here. Anyway, anybody who has put the questions in question answer window, kindly ask it in chat window so that I'll be able to answer to those questions. Now, Yaza, what can we expect for Australian dollar? I explained that Australian dollar is expected to make a range bound move around that of 1.03 to 1.05 area with about 40-50 pips on the upside as well as the downside. Now they are all buy opportunities below 1.04 and later on they will go to 1.05, but don't try to expect Aussie to gain along with that of Euro and GBP in a big way. So any more questions please? If you got any questions, I am willing to answer. Yeah, okay. Renko, kindly advise USD yen. I am short on it from 84. No, sir. See, I think you've done the shorting and averaging it. I am maybe expect margin call if it hits 100 pips. See, it has led to over trading. When you continue to short from 84 to 86, and then it leads to the real stress on you, the margin call. Hence, I opened a buy position on USD and at 25. Okay. Now, see, in case if you are short like that, whenever they are making one side move, what you can do is simply hedge market near that of the low if possible or around that of the low. And because they continue to rise, so you will be tempted to do only averaging trade. That you have to control and try to hedge the positions and avoid over trading. Then afterwards, when the hedging is making profit for 2 hours, understand that even at that level, if somebody has sold, they are giving profit. I mean, somebody has bought, they are giving profit. So straight away buy the same quantity or double of it and simply hold it. If equity permits, you can take double of it and wait. Then when they continue to show the profit on the buy side, when the profit is more than that of the hedged position, suppose you have got 84 level sell and then market has come, you have just hedged it around 86, 200 pips, you are blocked. Then you take equal quantity if equity permits, because you are selling that if it moves another 100 pips, you will have margin call. I don't know whether you will have equity. I can explain only the trading strategy, the rest you have to take care. Then if you try to take the buy position, if the equity permits, then when they continue, hedge the initial sell and take buy position. If the buy position is making more than 200 pips profit, that means you can close the sell with the original hedging. Then your buy position, suppose it makes 250 pips profit, your sell and buy trade makes about 200 pips loss, you can still close it. You will find 50 pips net profit. So this sort of trading strategies are to be thought of. Only then you will be able to sustain in the market. If you simply go with it of, as they rise you continue to sell, as they rise if you continue to sell, you will be trapped. That is a normal emotional feel of the trader. Just average so that you will just exit at no profit, no loss condition. But it leads to over trading. The players know very well how the traders can be induced to do taking more positions. Because if you take more positions, they earn more money. When you overtrade, they can easily give margin call and earn money. See, you are facilitating them to earn money. Why? Because you fail to control your emotions and fail to understand that the players are big enough to trap us. So there is no question of trying to survive in such a scenario. It is next to impossible to survive if you continue to sell. question. Shaukyat. Can we still expect Euro GBP to be downside for us? Yes, Euro GBP is expected to come down from 82 level to 79 level in this particular process. In another 15-20 days, you should be able to see that. GBP is gaining more level. On Friday itself, they have shown GBP more gain, and the Euro, they have been holding it, mainly to dump Euro GBP positions. And again, now they are holding it around this, make a small upward stop-in, because for fresh entrance, they have to make stop-ins. So wait for quick moves on the upside in the case of Euro GBP cross. So they are just showing a nominal negative net change, and 81.87 is a high. When they come to closer to 82 and they not breached the high for more than 30 minutes during the mid session, try to take a sell and keep hedging order to limit the risk. And 50 pips is ideal, or you can tighten it also. Then once a position makes profit, keep stop at entry and try to book profit. See, the forecast is one. You cannot blindly follow it. No, you have to understand, because the forecast is explaining what could be the possible moves, and the market can move against intraday for a brief period or for a day. So do you have the capacity to hold the positions? You should be able to ascertain that. And simply telling that you have been telling Euro and GBP are to go up, whereas they made a drop, if you ask questions, I will become helpless, because I am deriving all these forecasts based on the long-term chart study or the forecast algorithm study. And in that, I try to fine-tune and give you the session-wise moves. And there can be variations, and keep that in mind, but in the long term they will move in tandem with the expected market moves. And when you are trading with a limited equity, try to see always that you develop the technique of limiting the risk and maximizing the profit. And so that is the only way to sustain in the market. And you will come across in coming days the players will become more aggressive moves in order to attract traders. Then the traders will think that, okay, market is not standstill and it is not grinding or it is not consolidating for a long time. It is making very quick moves. So we will enter and exit quickly following the charts or any other technical analysis, then try to make money. So they will allow them to make quick trades like scalping or swing trades, etc. They will find the going is good. Then later on they commit more, or the last position they trap and they go in for the averaging trade. Then you will find all problems coming in. Okay. Then can we still expect? Okay, explained. Then B winner FX. Euro and GBP, how many more weeks of rise is expected? Till first week of first week of February, the rise is expected, sir. Then Mohan Kumar, Euro may breach 1.38 area? Yes, more likely it is expected to breach, because once they start making the shift in trading zone, the higher trading zone is normal. Higher trading zone normally takes a lesser time frame when compared to that of the middle and the lower level swing. I explained in my trading system webinar, they do the lower level consolidation with a downward stop and quickly rise it to the middle level. So from 1.25 to 1.20, that was lower level consolidation in the case of Euro. They have come to 1.28 and above, and afterwards they are not traded in 1.29 or 28 area. Then they have come to 1.29 to 1.33. Then they have made the middle level consolidation, and then either way stop-ins. Then they will quickly make a rise and rise and rise and go to that of the higher level consolidation until the traders stop doing the short selling and do the short covering. They will make a quick rise, then afterwards they make the higher level consolidation. So normally the lower and the middle level consolidation, if they take, say for example, about 4 months, They take only about 2 to 2.5 months for the highest level consolidation. Afterwards, they start reversing the market. Then Renko, I have kept take profit at 25 pips. Why? Once a position makes profit, you can keep stop at entry and try to maximize the profit when they are going to do the quick rise. And then what you can do is trail the stop in profit making position in Audi. GBB has not breached 330 GMT. Yeah, that's what I told you. GBB has not breached the initial low. Doesn't mean that they are not going to do the downward stop, and they will make one quick downward stop in the case of GBB, telling some story, and later on make aggressive gains. As I explained, it is the last week of this year, the last day of this year, and the fall of the new year in this particular week. So the market is expected to be very, very volatile and aggressive on either side moves. What are you expecting the market to behave on the US physical cliff? US weakening, yes, they are expected to make the USD weakening move, but they may just alternatively call it as the risk appetite move and the US weakening move, depending upon the context. And they will always make convincing attributes. Keep that in mind. Then Renko, kindly advise one final position, sir. I closed all my USD yen and booked a total loss of 2,800. And now I am long on USD yen at 86.12. Can I please hold? See, when I say immediately if you try to go for such trades, then it is a blind following. No, I do not want you to do that. See, it is the mid-session. So I mainly explain many times that early and the late sessions you try to take positions in the case of the majors. Anyhow, they are not expected to make a big drop. But you could have fine-tuned your entry. Instead of 86.12, 86.07 or 86.05, you could have taken a buy when they make a small dip before making a rise. Can I place hold at 88? Yeah, in the case of USD yen, you can keep a limit order at 88 and keep hedging order or a stop just about 30 pips below the market. And once the position makes profit, keep stop at entry. These things are very essential because, see, now you are booking about 200 pips loss. Instead, you should have the mindset to accept 30 pips loss. That is much manageable when compared to big loss. So what I suggest is, always you have taken the position, you keep stop. Let them hit the stop. You will have a better level to enter into the market, so that position will earn the loss what you have made in the stop, and also for the money. Because I explained many times that they do the session start time and the close time, the stop ends, like how they have done it in the case of Euro. They are not done it in the case of GBB. If you think that they are not going to do it and take a buy, they will just make about 20-30 pips drop and hit the stops and go up. Or they may come up to that and go. Because since they are holding it closer to that, I am very sure during session start time, during the European session, in order to create the market sentiment, they will make a downward stop and then quickly rise. Keep that in mind. So whenever they make such quick moves, you enter and exit. Because blindly following my advice without you understanding the technique may lead to complication or disappointments. So Renko, please accept my advice, and here afterwards when I say they are expected to rise, you fine-tune your entry. I am only making a general statement that they are expected to make a very big rise, and there will be swings in the market. They cannot straight away rise all. They have to make a dip of 5-10 pips before making a rise. So if they make a rise, then immediately keep stop at entry. When they come above that of the high, you feel comfortable. No? Afterwards, you can keep stop at entry. 86.17 and 20.22 if they go, because since they are holding above that of the initial high 8602, and it is unlikely they will make a dip. But still, when I expect you to enter and exit in the market, I explained many times, always keep about 5 to 10 pips lower than that of the current market level, so that a small swing they will try to hit, and that will be a fine-tuned entry. You will get about another 5-10 pips profit, extra profit. And Srinivas, silver is currently showing positive net change. Do you think that they will show drastic change? It's a month and year-end time, so they are expected to make aggressive upward and then downward move. They will gain just one day and then start making a big drop. They are buying at a lower level. Keep that in mind. So they have to induce the traders to take a buy and then quickly drop, and already silver has dropped, so people will become afraid and they may think that it will go to 28, 27, 26 and things like that, cut the position, and the players will try to rise the market. Then can we follow same market reading for stock market? Yes, to a certain extent, because the stock markets have got the time frame. Futures market has got 24 hours, like the Dow Jones futures and Nasdaq futures, etc. But otherwise, all the other regional stock exchanges have got a limited time. So within the time frame, they try to make such moves. So there will be a slight variation from that of what I explained it as the market reading technique. Then, how about USD CHF? USD CHF is expected to gain the levels. Don't think that they will make a drop, and they came just below 0.91, and they are not expected to go below that, and they will slowly gain the levels alternatively, and you will find suddenly Euro CHF going up, and they may say that Swiss banks are interfering and things like that. There could be so many attributes, and finally you will find USD CHF is also going up. And you would have seen many times that USD CHF, when it was going, USD yen was holding around 78, 79. This time they just gained the levels in the case of yen and holding USD CHF around 90, 91 level. They are expected to gain up to 93 slowly. Afterwards you will find very aggressive gain happening in the case of USD CHF. One intervention story is enough to just go to parity, because on the downside they made about 1500 pips move, and I am sure that they will reciprocate again. What are you expecting for USD CAD? USD CAD is expected to make a range bound swing. On the upside it can go to 1.0102 level, and downside 98, already 98, 99 they have crossed, and slowly it will come to parity. And Australian dollar is also expected to make a range bound move as a commodity pair. I explained it earlier. Okay, Renko, thanks a lot. I'll definitely change my mentality. Yes, calmly trade. No, and once you develop patience, you will find market rewards you very nicely. Actually, if you become aggressive and impulsive, it will induce you to repent again and again. No? And that gives additional stress to your mind. Long on USD CHF since 91. I'm ready to hold it. Okay, you try to keep stop at entry, then try to hold. Always follow the trading strategy, please. Then Moses, what are you expected on USD CAD? I explained it. Okay. Why it's coming? Okay. Gold has more downside. No, gold downside is very limited, and they are expected to gain the levels first in gold, followed by that of silver, because silver is more traded with regard to volume, and gold they are expected to gain the levels again. And how about Euro New Zealand dollar? See, similar to that of Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar is also expected to make a range bound move, but Euro is expected to gain more. As a result, when the denominator currency weakens, then you will find the reversal happening in the case of Euro's New Zealand dollar. Then Chuck, you any downside? I'm not able to follow it. The downside moves will be there from February. So till such time, the year-end move and the new year beginning move, they are expected to make very aggressive move. Last year, this year, 2012, they made a quick drop in the case of Euro and GBP from that of last year close. And then they did the consolidation for 2 months near that low. Similarly, they will quickly rise the levels and just do the higher level consolidation this time. Okay, then house. Aussie yen. Aussie is going to make a range bound move. USD yen is expected to rise, so yen is expected to weaken. So when Aussie is relatively strong when compared to that of yen, Aussie yen is expected to make a reversal move. As I explained, commodity currencies, commodity crosses, they are just trying to gain the levels now. Then later on they will slightly reverse the commodity currencies. I am long in GBP CHF from 48 and expect it to rise. Yes, it is possible. They will quickly rise, and GBP CHF was considered as one of the virulent currencies in those days, but USD CHF was the most volatile currency in 2000-2001. Then in 2003-4, GBP CHF was a virulent currency. Every time they make and GBP was a very virulent currency in the case in 2007-2008. GBP went up to 2.11. You might be remembering from 2.03 to 2.11 in a matter of 3 days. They have just taken it. That is the multi-year trend reversal. And now you find every currency is making nominal moves, but USD yen this time they are expected to make a very aggressive gain, followed by that USD CHF, because they had done the multi-year trend reversal in the case of denominator currencies. So they are expected to bring it to that of the normal levels. USD yen above 100 and CHF above that of parity 1.02, and in the case of Canadian dollar above 1.10, they are expected to reverse it very fast. Keep that in mind. Then Chad. Srinivasan, will you be presenting the yearly forecast? Yes, if I get a slot, then I will try to, I will find out from FX Street whether any slot is available for that. Then I will try to do the presentation on the expected market moves for this particular year 2013. Okay, now it is almost time, so I just explained about the expected market moves for this particular week, and also the market reading. I explained it. Then the trading strategy is a simple trading strategy. You enter and exit during quick moves in the market, not when they are consolidating during the mid sessions. If you are doing trading in the crosses, then you can enter during mid sessions, not otherwise. So these are all the expected market moves for this particular week from 31st December to 4th January, and they are expected to make aggressive quick rises in the market, and suddenly extended stop point on the downside could happen in any pair in order to create the market sentiment, and once that is over, you will find very aggressive gains happening in the market, because it is a yearly trend reversal time. Then with regard to the initial lows and the highs, Euro has breached the initial low and come up to 1.32, and they are expected to go by 6 to 7:30 GMT is the late session, so they are expected to go above that of the initial high, start making the intentional move after a brief downward stopping. Then at that time GBP they could make a brief downward stopping and then or make a false move up to the low and then breach the high and go above. And in the case of USDN, still holding around 86.02 is the high, and they are holding above, and they are sure to rise. Then in the case of CHF, they have breached the high and they are holding above that of the initial high, 91.41. So you may think that when Euro is rising, CHF is expected to drop, but they may not drop. Here you can see euro is making 15 pips negative net change, CHF is making 9 pips positive net change. So in a very similar way, when euro is making about 20-25 pips positive net change, they may simply show 10 to 15 pips positive net change in the case of CHF. Not necessarily a corresponding drop has to happen. Then in the case of Canadian dollar, they breached the low by 1 pip. 99.43 has become the new low and 99.64 intact. So indicating that they wanted to make the USD weakening move soon. Then 1.0368 is the low, 1.0409 is the high. They did not breach the low or the high in the case of USD and Australian dollar. So I expected market moves for today, I just explained. So they are moving in tandem with that of the expectations. Swing and rise moves are expected during Japanese, swing and rise during European, and some volatile moves may do the stop and in the case of GBP, if not during European session, during the US session, and then start gaining the levels. So I'll come back again on 3rd of Jan, the new year, and try to present yet another session of Asian session live market analysis. And I take this opportunity to thank FX Trade for the year-long support and presenting of the webinar, and you people who have been continuously visiting and attending the webinar and learning from my trading system. I take this opportunity to thank everyone. A very happy and prosperous New Year 2013. Thank you one and all. See you during the new year with fresh mind and more profitable trades.